This is a case that feels less like real life and more like the first chapter of a spy novel that was never finished. It is the morning of December 1, 1948. The place is Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. A man is found lying against the seawall. He is dead. He is about 40 to 45 years old, in top physical condition. He is impeccably dressed in a suit and tie, despite the hot Australian summer. His shoes are polished. He looks like he simply sat down to rest and died in his sleep. A half-smoked cigarette rests on the collar of his shirt. But from the moment the police arrived, nothing made sense. The anomalies. No identity. He had no wallet, no ID card, and no cash. The labels. Every single label had been carefully cut out of his clothes. Even the tags on his underwear were removed. The autopsy. The pathologist believed the man had been poisoned, likely with something rapid and untraceable, like digitalis, but extensive toxicology tests found nothing. His spleen was 3 times the normal size, and his heart had failed, but there was no trace of a chemical cause. The suitcase. Weeks later, a brown suitcase was found at the local train station, checked in the day before the body was found. It contained clothes, also with labels removed, a stenciling brush, and a knife. It also contained thread that perfectly matched the specialized orange thread used to repair the dead man's trousers. The clue in the pocket. Months later, a pathologist re-examining the man's clothes found a tiny secret pocket sewn into the waistband of his trousers. Inside was a tightly rolled-up scrap of paper. On the paper were 2 words, printed in an ornate font, Tamam Shud. Police called in library experts. They identified the phrase as Persian. It means, "it is finished," or "the end." It is the final phrase found on the very last page of a book of 12th century poetry, the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. The book and the code. The police launched a nationwide search for the book from which the scrap was torn. Miraculously, a man came forward. He had found a copy of the Rubaiyat tossed into the back seat of his car, which had been parked near Somerton Beach around the time of the death. The last page of the book was torn. The scrap found in the dead man's pocket fit the tear perfectly. But when they looked at the back cover of the book, the mystery deepened. Someone had faintly penciled in a sequence of letters, a code. WRGOABAB, MLIAOI, WTIBINPAENT, MLIABOIAQ. To this day, despite the efforts of military cryptographers and modern AI, this code has never been cracked. The nurse. Also written in the book was a phone number. It belonged to a young nurse named Jestin, or Jestin Thompson, who lived just 400 meters from where the body was found. When police interviewed her and showed her a plaster bust, a mask of the dead man's face, she appeared terrified and looked like she was about to faint. But she denied knowing him. However, she admitted she had once owned a copy of the Rubaiyat and had given it to an Australian Army lieutenant named Alfred Boxall in 1945. Police thought they had solved it. The dead man was Alfred Boxall. They tracked Boxall down. He was alive, and he still had the copy of the book the nurse gave him. The Tamam Shud page was intact. The conclusion. Who was the Somerton Man? Was he a Cold War spy liquidated by his own side? The removed labels and uncrackable codes suggest this. Was he a spurned lover of the nurse who committed suicide? The poetry suggests romantic loss. Why did he have genetic rarities? missing incisors, and calf muscles like a ballet dancer. In 2022, a professor used DNA from hairs found in the plaster bust to tentatively identify the man as Carl Webb, an electrical engineer. But even if the name is right, it answers nothing. Webb had no known ties to spies, no reason to be in Adelaide, and no explanation for the code, the poison, or the removed labels. The man on the beach remains a cipher, a story that literally ended with the end.